Zombie Apocalypse Gear Challenge. If you could only pick one blade, one firearm, what would you pick? Thanks for joining me on The Art of Prepping, where we're looking at the Zombie Apocalypse Gear Challenge. The blade in front of you is an awesome blade. This is the Ontario SP1 Spec Plus Marine. And while it's very adequate for what it's intended to do, I'd pick this Ontario SP6 instead. It has a longer blade. It's an 8-inch blade versus the other one, which was 7. This particular blade is about 13 inches overall. It's $40 to $50. US made blade, made by Ontario Knife Company. Has a craton handle, epoxy powder coated 1095 carbon steel blade. Full tang construction, leather Cordura sheath, and it only weighs a measly 10.6 ounces for an 8-inch reach. And you're going to need that reach, because you don't want the zombies to be right on top of you. You want to have the ability to pierce them, take them out if you can't get your firearm into action. I'd also use the lanyard hole that it comes with to tether it to my hand so I wouldn't lose it. The SP6 is the way to go. Now, what about firearms? In the ideal world, I'd have an AR-15 with a lot of rounds, but that weighs a bit more than this Ruger 1022 stainless takedown Lipsy's distributor exclusive. I love these black laminate stocks. The threaded barrels are awesome. It's the gold bead front sight, which is a bit more robust than the fiber optic sights. 35 inches overall. Then once again, though, it's the takedown model. So you can put this pretty much in most backpacks. 16-inch roughly barrel length. It's very compact and only 4.6 pounds overall. This would be the one. You'd have to do probably headshots with the zombies, but I think this particular model would be the one that gives you the most for the weight. So you could carry a lot of rounds, a lot of extra magazines, because it's such a small profile, lightweight package. Now, because this once again is the takedown model, you have the option to transport this in various ways so that it won't be so cumbersome, and maybe you can be more low-key and covert if you're mixing with the general population. And so the Ruger 1022 is going to be an option that you can use with or without a silencer, in particular this model. And of course, you can use a full range of ammunition, which we'll talk about in just a few moments. But we have other things called support gear. And if we don't have this support gear, the firearm and the blade don't do so well. So let's start with the first item, which is this Streamlight ProTac Rail Mount number 1, also known as the Mount 1. And this uses a simple AA battery or a single CR123A battery, and it's super awesome. This would be awesome to mount on your takedown 1022. You have to have light to identify the threats. And just like another threat would be getting the zombies' blood in your eyes. Of course, you have shells that could get in your eyes, gunpowder too. You'd want to protect your eyes and your ear. But for now, we're going to look at the eye protection, and this is what I would choose: the Oakley SI Ballistic M-Frame 3.0. Now, to have these smoked lens, and I'd also have, here in a moment, you'll see the clear lens for, more low light conditions. Here they are right here. And so definitely have a few. I think they even make them in other colors as well. You have to see which ones there would be best suited for you. But look at all this data here. A lot of different stats. I mean, they've gone through the whole testing procedures. I mean, these things are like mil spec. These are just unbelievable. These are like shooting glasses on steroids. So if you want maximum protection and you want to have UV and all these other protection from various harmful rays of light, this is pretty much some of the better ones you can get. And while there are other brands that aren't bad, I keep coming back to Oakley when I want the superior ballistic protection. And so just like with your eyes, you'd also have to pay attention to the needs of protecting your ears. And so I think that there's also a medley of other different types of hearing protection options, and it can get confusing, especially when you're looking at the zombie apocalypse. Money is no objective. So I picked these Peltor Tactical Pros. These are awesome, electronic hearing protection, so you can have a conversation, at normal levels, but at the same time, if there's a gunshot or something really close by, it'll cancel that noise out so that you don't have any type of hearing damage. That's super awesome. Now, the next thing would be to have some oil. I'd have a little bottle of oil to keep my blade oiled because it is a 1095 high carbon steel blade, and to keep the action going in the Ruger 1022 rifle. So oil would be a good preventative measure. Just as a bore snake would be, this is a small 22 caliber bore snake just to run through the Ruger, just to keep that all clear and free. I'd also have 8 to 10 Ruger BX25 magazines fully loaded in my backpack, and one in the weapon, ready to go in case I needed it, in case there was a horde of zombies that came up on me without much notice. These are very robust and of very good value. Now, this next item would be the CCI. These are the quiets. This one right here is the lead round nose. This is super awesome. Very quiet. You'd probably want to be up pretty close, probably no more than like 30 feet or so, with headshots on the zombies. This is also a quiet CCI bullet. This is the segmented type. Probably better for hunting small game, but either one you could use for headshots on zombies probably would work pretty well. In terms of if you have the option, though, to have a silencer and not to give your location away, I would go with some heavier rounds. But this Surefire silencer, this is the SF Rider 22-A, would be my go-to. It just threads right on to the barrel of that Lipsy distributor exclusive 1022. And so there needs to be no adapter at all. These are easy to clean silencers. And because I would have that silencer, I would go with the big boy 22 long rifle rounds, which is the CCI Velocitors. I have over 2,000 rounds of these on my person, and probably 200 plus of each of those two CCI quiet rounds. So this is just my thoughts on that. And I'd put all this crap in this Lipsy distributor exclusive, the takedown backpack. Now, I think they all come with a backpack. There's different kinds of backpacks for the takedown, I've noticed, but they do include it. And I put all this gear in the backpack, ammo, mags, all that stuff. I'd probably keep my blade on the outside, or at least tethered to the outside, and my hearing and my eye protection on the outside for quicker access. But this is pretty much how I would load it down. My blade choice, my firearm choice, and my support gear. Hopefully this was helpful. Be safe and watch out for the zombies.